I will not have mercy on her children, for they are the children of harlotry. For their mother has played the harlot. She who conceived them has behaved shamefully. For she said, I will go after many lovers, who gave me my bread and my water. I shall go after many lovers, who gave me my bread and my water. That's our focus for this one. Okay? So the spiritual deception, blinding the spiritual adulterer, is that other things will satisfy. They gave me what I needed. So, in many ways, because this is talking to the church today too, in many ways, the way that adultery in the church is fueled is by this tiny lie that we can be satisfied in anything else that is apart from God's presence and His voice. That if we teach this certain thing, it will satisfy. That if we have this certain small group, it will satisfy. That if we do this outreach, it will satisfy. These things are all things that can potentially cause distance because they become the most important. Okay? Many people, you said this just a minute ago, many people survive as believers by going to church on Sunday and being able to say, I went to church on Sunday. I went to church on Sunday and I went to my men's group meeting, whatever day that is. I am surviving. I am getting my 2 doses of Jesus through the week, one at the beginning, one halfway to get me back to the one at the beginning of the next. And I'm surviving that way. And what we're doing really is we're not growing in relationship, we're just growing in knowledge. And growing in knowledge actually can separate you from the intimacy with Jesus, because I start thinking I know enough, I have enough, I've learned enough, I don't need to press into Him and get more from Him. I know things. So even knowledge becomes our satisfaction and not presence. If I know enough, then my knowing of Him means that I have His presence and I'm walking with Him. If there were people that knew the Bible, man, it was the Pharisees. They knew it. They wore it. And in John 5, Jesus goes to them and says, you think in the scriptures you find life, but I'm standing here and you don't know me. And he goes as far to say as, therefore the love of God isn't even in you. So if the satisfaction is knowing the scripture, then I will satisfy in knowledge and not be satisfied in the one the scripture is about. And I will press into the book and not the person, and all the while think because I'm getting more knowledge and I'm creating distance. Okay? Again, I'm not shaming knowing the book. We need more people that know the book. But I can't make the book. This in the flesh copy, this thing right here, is not Jesus. This is a book, a Bible, the holy inspired word, but this is not Jesus. This is pointing me to Jesus. This is letting me experience Jesus by reading about Jesus, because He is the Word. But we look at the Bible, and I mean, you remember years ago when there was a guy that was traveling around that was standing on the Bible when he spoke, and the church went crazy because they were saying, you're blaspheming the Word, you're disrespecting the Word, you're standing on it, and how would Jesus feel? And his whole point was, this isn't Jesus. This is a book. Without Jesus, this is just a knowledge thing. You know just as much about movies as you do this book. Just because you can quote everything from, and I don't mind, but just because we can quote everything from The Office or from New Girl, does that mean that you and Steve Carell are best friends? No. You can know it, but not know him. Right? And we get satisfaction, the church oftentimes, but Christians in general. We go to seminary and we go to these things to get satisfaction in knowing what this says to be able to argue it, but not knowing him to be able to live it. So our satisfaction comes in study, but not in stewardship of relationship, and we create distance. Here comes the harlot. You with me?